Hello, welcome to this Dragon Eclipse roguelike deck building with Mystlings. So 1.0 release is here, so early access is over. Yay! And thank you developer for giving me early access on 1.0 release, pre-release version. Thank you for that. However, I gotta be honest, I don't think this game is ready for 1.0 release. It still feels unfinished and it definitely feels like it still feels like early access. And that's definitely not a good thing. So I know you guys work on this game really hard. I really appreciate that, but the game still has lots of problems. Yeah, the 1.0 release version did fix a couple of problems, but they didn't fix all of it, and that's different issue. So let's talk about the early access version and what has been changed and whatnot. So I've been playing this game every time they release a patch, so I know what kind of stuff they changed. I know what kind of problem the game had. I know what kind of problem they fixed. So, so let's talk about this. So, so they did village overhaul. So the village layout has been changed significantly. So this was really good thing. So they also added a compendium system, so we can gain access to compendium by press ESC, and you can also gain access to compendium by going here or here. Just go to Mistling Quarters. But the thing is, you can gain access to every one of these sections regardless of their position. So you go here, you can still gain access to the other stuff as well. So there is really no point of having all this extra location basically because you can't really do anything here except just looking at this. So I was really hoping they add some more mechanism or some kind of things we can do in the village. However, there isn't that much that you can do in the village, so that is kind of disappointing. They also removed the hatchery system from the game and they replaced it with the Mistling quarters. So previously, if you want to unlock the Mistling, firstly, you have to get the Mistling egg when you level up. And then if you get the Mistling egg, you have to hatch it at the hatchery and you have to fulfill some of the objective in order to hatch the Mistling. I kind of felt like that was a bit annoying to deal with. It just like hinder your progress. So I really didn't like that, and they changed it, and so they got rid of the hatchery system. But I was really hoping they replaced that with something else. Unfortunately, they didn't do that, so that was kind of unfortunate. So all you can do in the village right now is just talk to the Mistling, maybe get the quest from the Mistling, and just get the random consumable before you begin your run, and that's about it. That's about all you can do. So I was really hoping they add more to the village, but they didn't really do that. So that is really unfortunate. So so Mistling portals, you can see what kind of um, Mistling you have, what kind of you can see all the information about the Mistling. However, however, so I talk about the quest, right? So they added a quest system for three Mistling right now. So added the quest for Golomo, they added quest for Pine Peak and Iceling. So if you complete the quest, you actually get additional benefit for this Mistling. Unfortunately, they didn't fix it. So right now, I complete the quest for the Iceling and Pine Peak Golomo, but it doesn't show you what kind of additional benefit you are getting from the quest. That's basically if you complete the quest, you get a permanent bonus for these Mistling, and they have different bonuses. Unfortunately, the information is not shown here. It's not shown here or anywhere at all. So they definitely need to fix that. I talked about this before when they released the quest system. However, they still haven't fixed it. So please fix this so player knows what kind of benefit you are getting from the quest. That is really important. You gotta give player proper like a information about what's going on in the game. So they really need to fix that, and they haven't fixed it. So I'm really hoping they fix it soon. But 1.0 release is here, and they still haven't fixed it. So please fix it. Please fix it. Okay, so let's talk about the difficulty system. So they changed the difficulty system and replaced it with the act system. So instead of Eclipse 0, 1, 2, 3, so there was like a previous difficulty system. Now we have the act system. Unfortunately, it doesn't not give you any information about the act itself. So previously, like Eclipse 1, like 0, 1, 2, 3, it actually gave you what to expect in those difficulty. So like the days are getting shorter, the enemies are getting difficult, but you get more reward, something like that. So they actually gave you the proper information before, but now it doesn't actually give you any information whatsoever. So Act 1, search the nearby forest for signs of trouble. Act 2, look for source of Dragon Guardian affliction in the desert. The problem is your gameplay is literally the same. It's literally the same. And you still have the same difficult system as before. However, the information is not shown. That is the only difference. And the only another difference is that you have the different background. You have different map layout, you have different background, but everything else is basically the same. You still fight the same enemy, you still fight you still fight the random boss, you still fight the random elite, but there isn't that many elites, so you're gonna fight almost the same elite most of the time. And even though background is slightly different, your battle background is the same. So the detail is really important here. Detail is really important, but I gotta say, I actually like the previous difficulty system because it actually gave you the proper information. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the fact they're trying to do like different. They try to do like a different background. The X system. It kind of progress your story, so that is right, nice touch. However, they definitely need to put more content into different act because right now there isn't that much difference between Act 1, 2, and 3. I mean, Act 4 and 5, you gain access to Shadow Realm, so it does feel different on Act 4 and 5, but that's about it. And so you really need to give player proper information about what each act difficulty is. They really need to do that. So please give player actual information what this act actually means. So I was kind of hoping like to have like the different act maybe have different modifier that we have to work around with, or maybe they have like a different enemy that we have to work around with, or something like that. But that is not the case. Except the Shadow Realm, you will have same enemy. I mean, in the Shadow Realm, you will have some different enemies, but you will still encounter the enemies from the previous act as well. So it kind of feels the same. So they definitely need to work on this a bit more. I kind of feel like so. If you want to change the background, change the battle background as well. Maybe change the music or some. I mean, just maybe have the enemy have different looks, something like that would be really nice. I mean, it's a little detail, but little detail goes a long way. Right now, each act doesn't really feel that much different, and that's a different issue. So let's talk about the character just a bit. I was really hoping this game will have some balance patch. Unfortunately, they haven't done that many balance patch. So right now, Arcana, Maya, and Philippus is probably the three characters you're gonna play the most. So Philippus is the strongest character in the game right now. So Randy is kind of meh. Deckard and Barbara is really hard to use. I've been trying to play these two characters a couple of times. It's really not that fun to play these two characters. The benefit and the downside, it just doesn't match. It just doesn't match. I was really hoping they rework these like three characters for something else, but they haven't done it, so that is kind of unfortunate. And I was kind of hoping the different characters like a different story or like some different interaction, but they really don't have that. So that is kind of unfortunate. So please, please work on it. So do some balance pass, do some balance pass, because I literally don't see any reason to play these two right now. I literally don't see any reason. If you wanna go for like challenge, maybe, but aside from that, I just don't see any reason to play these two. So the balance wise, so let's talk about the acid mechanics. So I'll be right back. Hold please. Okay, so let's talk about the acid mechanic, and I was kind of hoping they changed this mechanic. Unfortunately, they didn't change it. So I did some tests here. So the acid is start around doing 1 damage for every acid countered, so it's like a poison if I compare this to like other games. But unlike poison, it just doesn't go away. So if you get the acid, you take damage. You take 1 damage for every acid counter. The problem is it just doesn't go away. It doesn't take down. So and the shield doesn't help because we take damage at the start of the round, and at the start of round the shield goes away most of the time. So it really doesn't help you to survive against the acid. So only way to counter this is that you have to finish the fight as early as possible when you get the acid. That's the only counter. And also you can sort of heal, but healing in this game is kind of limited. So until you get the blessing that can apply healing, your healing capability is gonna be very limited. So in the early game, if you get acid enemy, you're gonna be in trouble. And also because you cannot get rid of the acid, and because it doesn't tick down, if you somehow get the acid on the like a lowest health Mystlings such as Fail or Drosisia, you have to finish the fight as early as possible because you are guaranteed to die otherwise. And that is a bit of a problem because some comps you will not have a way to deal damage to the back line. So that means you have to get rid of the enemy in the front, then you have to get to the enemy at the back. And sometimes you just can't do that, and meanwhile you just keep getting the acid stack, and you will just lose lots of health because of that, because there's no way to counter it. So I complain about this, and I know a lot of people also complain about this as well, because it is really unfair mechanism, and it also makes almost impossible to keep Drosisia alive unless you get really lucky. The Drosisia egg only have 2 health, so it's really hard to keep that alive. And because of the acid, it's impossible to counter acid in the early game. So if you get the acid on the Drosisia, you're basically guaranteed to lose, and you have to basically restart. So that's not fun. So I was kind of hoping they changed this when they done like a 1.0 like a release out of like early exit. I was kind of hoping they changed this, but they haven't. They also haven't changed the zone mechanism as well. I was kind of hoping they did that as well. So I'm not really happy that they didn't change any of the zone or acid mechanism. Although the developer talked about like oh, we are thinking about changing the acid and the zone mechanism, but they haven't changed at all. So I'm not really happy about that decision at all. So I'm really hoping they change this soon, otherwise it's gonna be really not fun going against the enemy with the acid mechanic. So there's that. So let's move on. Okay, so end of every run, you are going to encounter Eclipse Crystal. So this is basically the leaderboard battle fight. So you have to deal as much damage as possible in 3 rounds, and you are going to compete against the other players for the ranking basically, but it is absolutely pointless, and I talked about this a couple of times. The leaderboard system just gotta go. It's absolutely pointless. I don't know why they put this in the game at all. Because okay, so I'm gonna show you why. Okay, let's see. Because this game, it's possible for you to go infinite combo, and this is just so stupid. I'm gonna show you why this is so stupid, because It is actually possible without cheating. It's actually possible for you to deal infinite amount of damage. Then another thing that we need to fix is that the animation needs to be much more faster. Because if you go in for the combo, you just kind of take a long time. So okay, I kind of got unlucky here, which is not good. Okay, that's what the mulligan is for. So it is possible for me to go in for the combo here. It's kind of tricky because I didn't really get lucky with the shop. So I have more card than I actually need. But we can get there, we can get there. The idea is we just use this, we just get the energy back, and we just keep recycling. The problem is, okay, we got this. So they put some limitation on some of the parts, so you can't really go like a crazy with like a grow mechanic, but they didn't do anything about the overload, and they didn't do anything about the double mechanism. So in this kind of like roguelike deck building game, you kind of have to be really careful when you go for like a double multiply effect. You gotta put some sort of restriction. Unfortunately, they didn't do that. So if you upgrade this card, so if you don't upgrade this card, it has an exhaust tag, which means the card you use is gotta be gone for the battle. However, if you upgrade it, the exhaust is gone, so you can basically keep using this over and over again. So I have 425 shield, right? So if I use this, that doubles it, and that kind of trips it because of this Mystlings passive. So now I have 1712 shield, and I can multiply this over and over again, which means I can deal insane amount of damage. So it is actually possible for you to deal billions of damage without cheating. It is actually possible. So it is kind of pointless to have the leaderboard in this kind of game, because it is possible for you to just deal billions of damage going for infinite combo. So there is literally no point of a leaderboard system. There's literally no point. So I will show you. So I'll be right. So if you go too much, it will actually reset your stacks to 0. So you kind of have to know when to stop. But it is just ridiculous how this works. So leaderboard system just gotta go. It's absolutely pointless. So I will show you the damage number, but it's gonna take a while. So I'll be right back. Hold please. Okay, I'm back. So as you can see, I just dealt this amount of damage in one turn. And I just can't keep going. Unfortunately, my stack got reset because I just doubled way too much. So if you double this way too much, if the game can't keep up with the value, and it will reset the value to 0, so you gotta be careful with that. My point is, you can just keep doubling and doubling. You can just redraw again. You can just keep doing this again and again, and just bam, yeah. So it's absolutely pointless to have the leaderboard system in this game right now, because you can basically do this with like a strength build, the shield dash build, whatever. If you go infinite combo, and if you just use the double keyword, you can just multiply that effect over and over again, and you can basically deal billions of damage in one single turn. So it's absolutely pointless to have the leaderboard in this game right now. So just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. It's absolutely pointless. Unfortunately, they haven't got rid of it in 1.0 release, so hopefully they just get rid of it. Otherwise, they have to change all this card, so player can't really go for like inverted combo or like go for the doubles over and over again. I mean, it's just stupid. It's just way too stupid right now. So hopefully, just get rid of the leaderboard or do something about the card in general, because right now it's really unbalanced, really unbalanced. Anyway, that's my take on this matter. And okay, so they fixed this issue. So um, there are a couple of enemies that's just too big for the battles, and it was impossible to read their intention because this icon was actually like up here, and I just couldn't read them, and that kind of cost me the game. So they fixed this, so that's a good thing. So they definitely fixed this. Now we can actually read what they are about to do. That's really nice. So good job on them. Good job on them. Okay, so I really hate to say this, but I don't think this game is ready for 1.0 release. The game definitely need more work for sure. Yeah, I know lots of stuff has been changed. Lots of stuff has been changed. I've been there. I've been playing the game every time they release a patch. I know that, but it's not good enough. The X system, the difficult system, they need more content. They need to make it. They need to make it so each act feels different. Right now, it feels the same, and you still have all those problems that I mentioned before. And also another problem is that I know this game is based on the board game. I get that, but this game is roguelike deck building game. And as a roguelike deck building game, it has a lot of fundamental issue. It's just that the game is really unbalanced right now. So once you figure out that you can do infinite combo build, there's literally no reason for you to go any different build. And the game really doesn't have that many builds that you can do. And most of the build that you can do doesn't really work that well, or the power level is just way too low to make it work, and it's way too complicated to make it work. However, the power level itself is really bad. So let's talk about the one build that you can do here. So you can do revive faint build. However, it's really difficult to make this work. It's really difficult to make this work, and you have to get so many different blessings together in order to make this work. However, the power level is way too low, and you need so many different blessings, and you need to be really careful. And you have limited amount of revival you can do for combat, so it has a limitation. So that is one example. So yes, the game definitely needs more. It definitely needs more card. It definitely needs more blessing. And the sharp reroll would be nice to have. You can freeze the blessing, but you cannot freeze the card. And I've been complaining about that, and they definitely need to add that, but they haven't. So it would be really nice if you can actually freeze the card as well as the blessing, and it would be really nice if you can reroll the shop as well. Yeah, so that's about it, I guess. And some of those Mistling is just so underpowered compared to the others, and some Mistling is just way too powerful than the others. So the balance is different issue right now, and but the problem is the double. You have to be careful with the multiply keyword, and they haven't fixed it. So they try to fix the card by putting some limitation. So previously there wasn't any limitation on the grow, but they actually put the limitation on the grow. However, they haven't put any limitation on the overload, but they haven't changed the exhaust. So you can still. Okay, where is that card? So you can still where's the card? Yeah, you can still do the double multiply on the shield and strengths and whatnot, because you can get rid of the exhaust when you upgrade a card. So what is the point? If you just upgrade a card, you can just keep using this over and over again. And since you can go for infinite redraw, infinite combo deck, infinite combo build, basically, you can just multiply your shield, strengths, on abilities. So you can basically have infinite damage with the infinite combo. So it is kind of fun at the first, but once you get used to it, And once you realize there isn't that many builds that you can do, and once you realize the infinite combo is probably the best way to play the game, you kind of feels exhausted, and you kind of feels like it kind of feels pointless to try the other build at that point. So that is a different issue. And so once you've like played this game for like a couple of hours, once you figure out the infinite combo build, and once you figure out which Mistling is good to use for those kind of build, then there isn't that much challenge to the game except the early game. So yeah. So I think this game is good to play for maybe like 5 to 10 hours. But once you figure out all this mechanic, once you figure out this combo deck and kind of things, once you realize how unbalanced this game is right now, then you gotta stop having fun because there isn't that many different builds that you can do. There isn't that many different things that you can do, and you are basically playing going against the same enemy, and there is no benefit for you to going for the higher difficulty once you unlock everything, because you literally don't get anything else once you unlock every card, once you unlock every mistling and blessing. There is nothing that there's literally no point of you playing the game at that point. So you will have fun with this game for like at least 5 to 10 hours, but after that, you will probably get bored once you get to the ending, once you figure out all these different builds that you can do. So it is unfortunate that the game had a lot of potential. However, it's not good enough right now. So I was really hoping developers added more content, added more different kind of card and enemies and whatnot. I mean, they did add a couple of cards and enemies and elite, but it's still not good enough. So, pl- so please fix the game. Please add more content so it feels different every time I play the game. Basically, I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. I know lots of like YouTuber and content creators going to say, "Oh, 1.0 release here is great game, try it," but I cannot honestly say that. So sorry about that, but that's just how I feel. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Take care.